Hey, we promised that we would try the taffy again, so here we are. We've already got it cooked, and we actually just had Mike pour it out. So here's Mom.
Hey, excuse the way I look today. The beauty shop's closed.
I need an apron.
Yeah, Mike needs an apron to cook. So what's in this, Mama?
This is sugar and vinegar, 3 cups of sugar, 1 cup of vinegar,
It's apple cider vinegar.
some vanilla.
I got the right kind of vinegar this time.
Vanilla,
And we're using my homemade vanilla, which Mom is skeptical of. Oh, and it might cute in his apron. He's got on wrong side out.
we cooked it. So
I didn't want the girly part showing.
we cooked it to 300 degrees. And hopefully it's not too hard.
So,
Sugar and apple cider vinegar,
yeah. That's all it is. How much sugar and how much vinegar?
3 cups of sugar and 1 cup of vinegar.
And what do you do with it?
Boil it to 300 degrees. And as soon as it gets 300 degrees, you buttered your 3 plates. You pour it in the plates.
And
you put maybe a half a teaspoon of butter in the bottom of the plate and just pour that on top of it.
in Grandma Simpson's recipe, it said what a hickory nut size piece of butter
Hickory nut.
that we had. A what now?
Hickory nut.
Say that one more time.
Hickory nut.
A hicker nut.
A hickory nut.
They're about
Uncle Eddie might have to look that one up in his
There's a hickory nut
in his
tree.
book. Hicker nut.
Hickory nut.
It's a hickory nut tree.
Okay.
And anyway, they're not as big as a walnut. Some people are saying walnut, but walnuts are about that big, you know.
So a hickory nut
What do you
size
think, Grandma? Maybe,
piece of butter.
that big?
That's a
A
hazelnut.
little bit bigger.
Maybe a little bit bigger than a hazelnut. You would have you a hicker nut blob of butter.
Just put a little bit of butter in, it's fine.
Now what are we waiting on here?
To cool so we can put our hands in.
So we've got it cooling, and y'all, I really hope it's going to turn out better this time than when we did it before.
We hope
But it
Mike
looks
doesn't
kind of
burn his
neat,
hands
doesn't it?
this
And
time.
there's some, I made homemade vanilla, and those are vanilla, the black pieces are pieces of vanilla bean. So it's just sugar, vinegar, the right kind of vinegar, which last time I had that with the mother, and Mom didn't like that at all.
Yeah, we do
So
have to
this
have
kind of
pepper.
just regular old apple cider vinegar,
Oh, I forgot.
$1.69 at Food Line, and plain old sugar.
I forgot we're live. I'm moving the things off the table so we can grease
Where's
something to put it
Where's
in.
that paper?
Oh.
We used it all up. You said there wasn't.
Yeah, this is kind of an emergency situation because I just realized that I didn't order any more waxed paper. Now Mom is looking under my kitchen
Can we use
sink,
tinfoil?
and that's not where she needs to be.
Yeah, you got it.
So give me a moment.
You know,
Hey, can
pardon me,
y'all
I'll
let
be over
can
it.
y'all let me dig over there instead of y'all doing it?
Well, they used to live right here.
Do you know how it is when people go through your stuff? You know what I'm saying?
We
Yeah.
don't want to we don't want to butter your table and put it on it. You have to have something to put it on.
What?
You could
Yeah.
actually use.
He's
red
got
pan
Reynolds wrap. Will that work?
if you butter it really, really.
If you butter it really, really good. So
Here, Mom, can you get one in?
we could have our taffy stuck forever to Reynolds wrap. The best thing to have is wax paper, and Melissa forgot to order it. It just takes so long. You know, it takes a long time to get groceries. It seems like because we're doing this where we order it and then maybe we can go later the same day to pick it up, or it might be tomorrow or the next day or even next week sometimes. So I'm slow on the grocery deal.
Yeah, better.
But what we're doing is we're waiting on this to cool
That might not.
and realizing that we forgot to set up something to put it on because we're doing this on the fly. That's the way we do everything again. And yeah, Andrew, we're trying Taffy again for the second time. We hope the second time's going to be the charm and we don't have to do it a third. Mike's going to butter this wax paper. Judy, have you ever used wax paper for your taffy? Because I forgot to get,
That's all you
I
need.
mean, aluminum foil for the taffy because I forgot to get wax paper. Is it a disaster in progress or what? And it might cute in that apron. He said he has it on backwards because he doesn't want the girly side to show.
I think you're in the
Oh my
office
goodness,
position.
Jake Smith, I see your name come up, and I think I may have a picture of you in an apron somewhere from when you were a kid.
That's kinda awkward for you.
Oh, Judy says use a whole bunch of butter.
Use a whole bunch of butter
More butter than that, Judy?
on the wax paper. That has to be covered everywhere.
How are we doing with the cooling taffy
That helps,
here?
thank you.
It's still hot, I think.
Too hot. I want y'all to know that my husband burned his fingers trying to pull taffy earlier in the week. You want to show them your boo-boos?
No.
So this
I got
is a,
blisters.
try
I got a
it at your
blister.
own risk. Those are blisters from pulling taffy.
I tell you,
So
it's a tough world we live in.
the kitchen is a dangerous place. I'm trying to help him by holding this still. So we're buttering up a piece of aluminum foil because I forgot to buy wax paper. I think I was telling somebody earlier today, a new neighbor, that if she needed a cup of sugar, let me know. I should have rang her bell to see if she had wax paper today, huh? Judy says more butter than that, Mike.
Oh.
Oh, look, she says a little more, baby. This is an interesting predicament we have ourselves in. It's something new every day. Every day is an adventure.
We're gonna make fried apple pie.
Y'all tired of looking at that
later.
wax paper?
And later we're gonna make fried apple
Keep
pie.
letting go.
So Mama's promising one more episode of Cooking with Grandma Betty.
It's gonna be fried apple pie with the substitute of blueberries for the fried apples because we couldn't get the apples here soon enough.
We could, yeah, unless Amazon miraculously delivers these dried apples tomorrow.
And they
We-
couldn't. Well, we're gonna do it tonight.
Oh, excuse me.
Today.
Are we going to do it today,
You
tonight?
said it was
Okay.
apples.
We could always try again tomorrow.
And
She's leaving on Tuesday.
we couldn't find dried apples like we have them where the homemade dried apples. They're just gonna be round. Does
Sorry about
anybody
that.
know if you can take those store-bought dried apples and dry them some more in the microwave or oven and make them be like homemade dried apples?
And when you say homemade dried apples, you mean they're really, really, really
The
dry?
ones your grandma took an apple and chopped it in little quarters and thin and put it outside in the sunshine to dry. And then when they get through, they're brown looking, not
If we
real.
did that today, it'd get rained on.
Well, you can put them in the microwave.
When I was little, I remember you having dried apples in the cabinet,
Yeah, well, I had them in a bag.
in the lower cabinets, because I would sneak them out because they were good.
In a bag.
I think I'm getting a blister of putting butter.
All
on
right.
it.
Do you think he's injuring himself over here? What do you think, Judy? Is that enough butter? The neighbor has a motorcycle. Do you hear it? Okay, I think that's a lot of butter. How's the temperature on this? Can we touch it yet? What do you think?
I've just washed my hands, but I haven't buttered. You have to butter your hands
Well, here.
before you start.
I
So you
I
gotta
got plenty of
butter
butter.
your hands.
Here you go, Grandma.
Don't try this without
You can
buttering
make
your
butter
hands.
in that, though. I cut some pieces.
Hey, Mama, what happens if you don't butter your hands?
Well, I think you'll have your hands stuck to the taffy.
Forever?
Well, unless you soak them a long time in warm water. But gradually it will melt.
If you put it in hot enough water, the taffy will melt.
Oh, that's a good
That's
point.
how
But
I
you might
clean-
injure yourself, Mike
That's
Minder.
how I cleaned the pans last
Yeah.
time. I just kept running hot water in them until they
If you
eventually
don't-
melted.
Speaking of hot, it's warm today, isn't it? Oh, she's touching the taffy. What do you think?
Well, it still feels warm.
It's hot.
Mom used to do this.
It's hot. You gonna flip it over?
I'm just going to pull it away from the edges.
So tell them what we did differently this time.
We just used a candy thermometer.
And this is
We used a candy
Yes.
thermometer, so it should go better. I found it. No, wait, Mike found. No, Mom and I found it. I am not the most organized person on the planet.
To find it.
Yeah, we only had to clean out 3 drawers to find the candy thermometer. I just don't use it that often. It was under a bunch of stuff. How often do y'all use candy thermometers? Do you even own a candy thermometer? Do you know what one looks like? I'll show you.
That's why you push it up in the hot stuff.
It's sticky.
like that. Fold it over.
But this is a candy thermometer.
Fold it over.
And make this.
And we had to wait till it got to 300 degrees. Here, I'll flip you back over. They're playing with it now.
We're just putting the edges.
I don't have my little thing to set up the phone so I can play with it myself.
But you'll have to find it before so you can pull it.
Oh my.
It's in the other room.
Or maybe I'll let y'all do the pulling and I will hold the phone.
You just can't show them my big old stack of dirty dishes and the mess on the counter.
No, maybe somebody will come over and wash them for you.
You think somebody would feel sorry and come pick up the house if I let them see how messy it is? What was that look about? It's too hot still.
Yeah, you just
We don't want Mike to injure
You
himself.
just have to keep on having butter on. You have to put up with buttery hands for a little while.
Let's see if I can figure out a way. There you are, Mama.
Oh, that's not very much.
All right. Talk to Mom for a second.
Oh, we
Mom.
have people watching. Hey, Alyssa. Hey, Judy. Hey, Teresa. Hey,
Who's on
Linda.
Oh wow.
We have a fan club, don't we?
Hey, Mike, how do I get this to turn sideways?
I see the whole.
We always have
Flip it up,
technical
turn it around.
difficulties. So,
Look right there. See that? Now unlock that, and then it'll flip over.
anyway, I hope y'all had a good,
Turn it east or west. There you go.
or having a good Sunday. This isn't working on Sunday. This is pleasure.
Whoops.
You're cooking dessert, Grandma.
That's right.
All right, I'm seeing if I can set y'all on the table here so I can put butter on my hands and play in the taffy. Yeah, we're set. This is the second go round with the taffy, Kim. It's
Would
good
you
to
like
see you.
to see the first go around? Would you like? Where is it?
Let's see. I'm trying to get y'all set up right here. Sorry, excuse me.
For people who missed the first comedy episode of Men, here's the first. Can you see that? And look, you have to have one of these candy breakers to eat it.
Whoops! I'm getting you set. This is Mender Manor Production Studio. Is that a good spot?
Yeah, you can't see one dirty dish.
Who all is on here? This is interesting to do this at different times of day. Last night we had a different group of friends on when we did vegetable soup in the evening. Hey Stephanie, hey Brian, there's my baby boy Andrew. Hey Janie.
Hey, Andrew.
And Brenda and Michelle and my
And
sister
Judy.
Judy and Jake and Marcia. It's good to see you. One day
Alyssa.
I'll actually see you in
There's
North
Alyssa.
Carolina. Alyssa, Teresa, Linda, Kim. Judy says if the taffy sticks to the aluminum foil, you can use a buttered cookie sheet. That's a really good idea.
You can do what?
And you've been a member of this club since 1985, Kim. That's sweet. And hey, Shannon and Elaine.
It's very hot still.
Yeah, let me get my butter on my hands.
It's still pretty hot.
Elaine, I'm wondering if you ever make homemade taffy. That's what we're doing. We're making homemade taffy candy like my grandma made. We used to go to grandma's every Sunday after church, and a couple of times a year we'd probably ask if we could make taffy candy. And this is the way we did it. Tell them what's in it again.
This was
Mama.
back in the day when on Sundays everybody went to their grandma's house, you know. And anyway, it's 3 cups of sugar and 1 cup of vinegar, and you cook that to 300 degrees, which is a hard crack stage. Then you pour it into buttered platters, maybe 3, so you won't have so much cooling. And you put a wax paper down and put butter on it when it gets cool, but you be very careful because it's really, really hot. Mike's already pulling his. I can't pick
Last
it up
time we
yet.
did this, Mike got blisters on his
Gonna have
fingers because
blisters.
he's so delicate. So I've got my glove. I think it would be good just to eat it just like this.
I think you would have your.
This is way different, a way different experience than earlier in the week. Like, look, it's so moldable.
Yeah.
Last time,
it was too.
All I could do was twist it around. I couldn't pull it last week.
yeah, last time we let it cook a little too
It's
long.
still a little too hot, Donnie.
And show them yours, Mike. Come over here and show them yours. He's gonna be a good taffy puller after all.
Well,
Look at the color is changing as he's pulling it. Tell him what's supposed to happen, Mama.
It turns to white, and when you get it really shiny white, you spread it out on the butter. But you always butter your hands a lot when you're working with it.
it's like those horses. They're born black, but then they turn white.
Do they? I didn't
They
know
do.
that.
They do.
Well, I don't think anybody pulls them like this. Or I guess the Lord might stretch them out when they're growing. Well, that's a strange
okay, I'm getting out of the
analogy.
camera because nobody wants to see me. Get in there, Grandma.
You're doing a good job.
Mine's too hot yet. Mine must have tender fingers.
You want to do mine? I've got it. See if you can stand this.
Is it cool?
It's probably cooler than what you've got because yours is still so fat. Try it.
So at some point, do you?
Yep, hers is really a lot hotter than mine. That's strange. They were all 3 poured at the same time. I guess because I've been playing with it
Yeah, probably.
differently. So we're stretching the taffy. This is fun. Y'all should do this at home.
But you could do it with 2 people and they pull it back and forth. But
Yeah, look how white that's getting. Well, it's not white, but lighter color.
yeah, it does it.
I remember doing this with my cousins,
So what do you
my
do? You like,
sisters.
You just keep pulling it till it gets about the white of that.
really? What makes it white, Grandma?
Do you know the
I
science?
hadn't got
I
a clue.
don't know. I didn't do really good in science.
Somebody should totally Google this
Or-
and see
or math.
why it turns white.
Or-
Does your mama...
Or English.
Oh, it's Kim. You remember my roommate, Kim Parrish? She came to
Oh,
spend the
I
night at
do.
your house. Oh,
Hey,
of
Kim.
course, she remembers you, Kim. She lives in Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is the end of mine, I think.
That's the end of yours?
You can put it together with one of y'all's.
Mike is the most successful taffy puller, and I knew he would be. You know, that's why I married him, because I knew he'd be a good taffy puller.
Well, you better go ahead and get yours done. It'll mess up.
But when I was little, I remember it being
You wanna
so hard
add
to
yours to
pull the
hers and I'll
taffy.
give
Here,
Melissa
here,
mine.
add that. Yeah, now.
You want to switch?
That's all
Do
I
you
can
think
do.
you can pull all this at once?
I don't
Yeah,
know. I'll try.
yeah.
All
You
right.
keep pulling
Look
it
how light this is in comparison to what... Ooh, it's getting
hard. You have to pull it
to be
hard.
hard to
Fast.
pull.
That's why you have to do it fast.
It's working, y'all! It's very exciting.
It's looking more like taffy, yes. But when
So,
you think it's getting
Did
too
anybody
hard,
else
then you have to
do
spread
this
it
when you were a kid? Make taffy at your grandma's house? Or at your house? Alyssa, Lee, and Andrew? I'm sorry we didn't do this at our house. It's really fun.
out. When you
But we
think,
can do it now.
when you think it's getting hard enough, you just spread it out, even if it's not real white, because it might get where you can't spread it out.
I guess I thought I couldn't figure out how to do it on my own when I was raising my kids. I didn't live near my
What's it
family.
supposed to look like when we get done?
And
Like
just
just real long little
Yeah, just
pulls,
long strips.
and then it just gets stuck on the paper and you can't get it off.
We hope it won't, because you got all that butter on there.
I highly recommend doing this. Just use a candy thermometer. All it was sugar and vinegar. So this is Taffy Candy. I don't have my glasses on if you're wondering why I keep squinting. I'm trying to see who's on here. Hey, Mandy. We're making Taffy Candy, the kind that I used to make at my grandma's growing up. And you make it with just sugar and vinegar, well, and a little bit of vanilla and some butter.
And cook it to 300 degrees.
You cook it to 300 degrees. That's the hard crack stage.
I think that needs to go on there already. It's
And
getting
mine
too
is
hard.
ready to put on the paper. I should have wax paper, but I don't. I have
Where did you
buttered. I need a plate to lay this on.
Oh, well.
Cause do I just lay it down
but you
like
stretch
this?
it out as straight as you can. I mean, as much as you
I
can.
don't know what I'm
Because yours is starting to get too hard.
Mine's getting too hard, she said. So it's like I've stretched it out like a rope.
Yeah. Like here.
This is a little piece of it. I think I might bite into it in a second.
Mom always got it.
Come over here and show them what you're doing, Mike.
See, this is two
Success!
plates full. So it's kind of thick. I'm really pulling hard on my
I
blister.
can
You know.
Oh yeah, because he's injured himself pulling taffy.
Wonder how
I
they
can take
used
part of
to
it and pull.
do. Well,
How
they
about
used to pull it. You put it here, and then it gets you in the middle of it. Now
Like
you
this?
catch it, yeah, and just go back and forth like that.
So
That's
this is
the way
the
they
way
do
I
it.
remember doing it as a kid.
At parties, yeah,
Because at parties.
yeah, and you stretch.
All right, when you're allowed to have parties again, do a taffy pull.
Like you have to get that out of your hand and pull it and get it back. Put them kind of. See, that's what you do. And I think at the parties they used to have, they had three-way people doing it. Mama said.
This is fun.
It's not as white as my mom's was, but it's looking good.
If you have kids, they will love to do this.
But don't let them put their hands in that hot stuff.
My
Worry,
battery's
worry,
going low.
worry. You got to worry all the time.
Worry. Let me see if I can look at
'Cause-
what people are saying.
I was worried.
So what do you think? What do you think? Will you guys try this? Making taffy candy at home. It's easy, although we messed it up the first time because we didn't actually use a candy thermometer because I couldn't find mine.
Look,
And-
look. Then you crack it like that. See?
Did y'all see what she
the best
did?
candy you could have in the
It's
world.
already gotten hard.
See?
And there's our first official piece. Come over here if you want to talk to.
See? A piece of taffy candy like Mama used to make. Maybe a little bigger than she cut it out. But I might
It's
break it
getting
in
hard
two.
now.
So it's looking good. I'm proud of ourselves. Especially after that tremendous failure the other day. I'll show you it.
We're making a really long one. Can you see our taffy? It's taller than I am.
Here's what it looks like if you cook it too long and you can't pull it.
You
It's
guys
really-
have to do this.
But you can't mess up 3 cups of sugar. It's gonna taste pretty good.
Yeah, it was ugly, but it tasted good. But it's really cool to see how it changes colors. And my guess would be
So we're gonna.
just when the oxygen gets to it, it changes colors. If we were gonna think scientifically, I think I'm gonna pull this off.
I think it probably could be stretched out.
Yeah.
Wonder how Mama got hers so snow white. It's still a little creamy. It's not as white as my mom made hers. I don't know how she did it.
Well, I mean, I guess we keep pulling it if we want to.
And look, I made me a little piggly wiggly.
Oh, that's cute.
Made me a little trumpet. Maybe I'll eat that on the year of Jubilee. I'll
See?
blow or the Day of Trumpets. I'll blow that now.
See how much whiter the end looks?
It
See there?
does.
I think probably just if you stretch it out more and more, the oxygen gets to it. And it changes the color.
How's that, Judy? Are you still watching?
You gonna put it on top of the candy?
Well, I'm trying to spread it out.
Well, he's got
So,
maybe you need to put it together, because I mean, not stick together, but over, because he got to put his over there too.
Okay, I think this is going to be the last pull because it's getting hard.
I just want the little tiny piece so I don't break my teeth off, because I think, well, that's still chewy. I'm always worried about breaking my teeth off these days since I got old.
Gotta make him space to put his on there.
It's delicious.
But I'm thinking you need some manpower to do this.
Well,
Okay,
thank you, Grandma. I'm helping, and you say to the whole world that what y'all really need is some manpower.
To do this.
She was talking
This
about
keeps-
you being
this
here to
keeps
help
break-
us.
this keeps
Excuse me, I'm
breaking.
taking y'all off of this thing. Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it, Judy? Aren't you proud of us? Whoops, you saw the mess in there. There is the taffy candy. Ta-da! We did it.
Success.
So it'll get hard and we'll break it up into little pieces.
Guess what? It's not as white as my mom's was. Hers was snow white. I don't know how she did it, but she did.
Oh, well.
Every time
I
pull,
think
it
we did
breaks.
pretty good. I am proud too, Judy. Thanks, Mom.
Hey, bye.
She's got a mouthful of candy.
Yes, it's so good.
You say bye, Mike.
Hey!
Do you like it? Are you happy?
I haven't tasted it yet.
Why did we never do this with our kids? Again, I'm sorry,
Because
children,
we're-
I did do this with y'all.
Because we're lame.
Okay, well,
We're lame. Grandma's
but
the
we're
coolest.
still here, so we can still do it with our grandbabies.
All those
Yeah,
visits to
it
Grandma's,
tastes really
and we never
good,
got to
Judy.
make coffee. I don't know.
This grandma's arms would never do it. I could never pull it. I helped Mama, but she could do it better.
You
She
did.
just did it fast.
She was really strong. Well, you did.
Well,
You did
some of
pretty
these are
well.
kind of thick, so.
Yeah, so
Oh,
try
I
it
got-
at your
I got
house
more
and let us
blisters.
know how it goes. And we're going to take care of Mike's injuries because, of course, he hurt himself again, you know, pulling
Yeah.
taffy.
You did get bushy.
He really, truly does have a blister. I'm going to show you.
Oh, there's another one.
Like, this is no joke. He has an actual blister. It's kind of gross.
Put your
So,
hands.
be careful if you have really delicate hands. This is the dude who used to do construction work, you know, and always had calluses all over his hands. Oh, yeah. Go make some taffy. Let us know how it turns out. Love y'all. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon.